Welcome to episode 1. In this episode, we're going to talk about transitioning from a part-time job to full-time entrepreneur, or rather having a full-time job and doing your business as a part-time side hustle and then converting totally over to being a full-time entrepreneur. So let's get into the show. Welcome back. And as we mentioned, the title of this show is Transitioning from Side Hustle to Full-Time Business. So as a quick little introduction, my name is David. I own a video production company that I grew from the ground up. I grew it to a 6-figure business, and I am 4 years in now as a full-time entrepreneur. I started doing this business as just part-time side hustle, weekend type situation, but now for the last 4 years I've been doing this full-time 24/7. And for this first episode, or before I even get about what this episode is, I kind of really want to, for this series that I'm trying to create, I want to talk about my journey from starting out small to growing to a 6-figure production company, and like how I've done it, a lot of tips and tricks. I really want to get into everything, and I hope as these series progress that you can start to give me some feedback or have some comments. Let us know, or let me know what you want to talk about, or what should I elaborate more on, because I absorbed so much over this time, and I'm trying to find an outlet to like help other people who may be going through what I'm going through, or will go through what you're going through when you start to hit those growing pains, your production starting to start to grow, or you're in a situation where you're just trying to figure out how to go to the next level. I kind of been through it all, so that's what I'm trying to do with these series. So like, again, this episode is that transition period from you're leaving your 9 to 5, your stable job, and you're preparing for that, and you're jumping straight into full-time entrepreneurship, and like what you should expect and what those hurdles could be. So I'll put up on the screen really fast like the little agenda that I have. We're going to talk about the challenges of transitioning, shifting from part-time to full-time, the financial changes, adjusting, to the new responsibilities, growth expectations, what to expect as your business expands, positioning for success, building systems for long-term growth, and a conclusion. So one of the first things that I like to talk about when transitioning, one of the things that you don't consider, or at least that I didn't consider, was the finances. So when you're working a full-time job or whatever, you have that luxury of knowing you're getting that weekly check, that bi-weekly check, that monthly check, right? And anything you do extra on the side is extra. So let's say you're making $500 a week at your job, but you can do a side job for $500. You make that $500 in one day. That seems like a lot of money. However, the moment you transition to full-time, it no longer becomes a lot of money. It becomes nothing, because ideally, you like, I worked all week just to make $500, but in one day in my side business, I can make $500. But the problem is once you become full-time, those $500 gigs aren't consistent, and you really don't consider that. At least I didn't. So it may take you a month or 2 months to land one client, your first client. And by the time you get that $500, you realize you done worked a full month straight. You worked a week straight. Even if it took you a week to get it, or 2 weeks to get it, you worked 2 weeks marketing and advertising. You're answering phone calls. You're sending out estimates and proposals. You're hitting the ground. You're spending money on advertisement, or you're spending money on equipment. So you will quickly see how that side money is no longer as viable or profitable as it once seemed when you had a full-time business, or when you was working full-time for your job. So I just want you to be prepared for that shift. And one way to prepare for that shift is you're going to have to increase your prices, at least by double or triple. But one of the big things you just want to make sure that what you're offering, your service, your product, is delivering on value to match the price that you're going to be selling or offering. for me in a video production company, we do video, photography, live streaming. We do a lot of different services. So whatever your deliverables are, just have to make sure that they match. But I just want you to have the mindset that when you make that transition from the side hustle to full time, that's what you're going to do. You're going to have to raise your prices. So growth expectations. No business can grow without marketing. So you're going to have to figure out a way to get marketing. And I'm going to elaborate more on this in maybe future episodes because, people often mention the word marketing or saying, it costs money to make money. But, like, it really costs money to make money. And, like, until you really can look at the money you kicked out and seeing the return it brings, and then you can start to base, how you want to where you want to pitch your marketing money at or where you want to spend it to get business, it'll all start to make sense. Because everybody here is saying it costs money to make money. But until you, it really didn't hit me until I was really looking at my spreads. Like, I'm spending $2,000 a month on this platform, on these ads, on X, Y, and Z, and it's returning me in $10,000 a month. And then once you put that in perspective, like, okay, this is worth it, it's not worth it. How can we grow this? How can we reduce expenditures to increase the profit margins? And you start to get into all of that. But those growth expectations, they will come with consistency. And then you just want to be prepared for when that growth comes. Because when you go to the growing pains, you're going to instantly be swamped. Because as a full-time entrepreneur, you're going to wear multiple hats. You're going to be the accountant. You're going to be the marketer. You're going to be the social media manager. You're going to be the person on the ground in the field, working, filming, taking pictures, whatever that is. You're going to be the person in front of the computer doing all the admin work, all the post work, editing, sending out emails, taking meetings with clients, sending estimates and proposals, getting rejections, following up. It's a whole lot that you're going to be doing. You're going to be managing so much. And like a new business or a business that you're running full time is like a newborn. You have to give it your attention 24/7. Any moment a lead may come in, middle of the night, you may want to jump on it, because the faster you respond to leads, the faster you eliminate competition who can respond before you and get that upper hand. So there's a lot that goes into it. So you just have to manage those expectations. You have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to work more than you ever worked for when you was working at your previous job. I used to work 12-hour shifts. I work a whole bunch of shifts. I work 12-hour shifts. It took me like an hour and a half to drive to work. With traffic, can even be longer. Even with all that time, I still work more than I ever did when I was doing 12-hour shifts, including the drives and shifts. Now, the feeling is different because it's yours, it's your business, it's your growing. You can make your business grow as much as you want, or you have your own goals. So there's a different feelings and amount of work, but you do want to be prepared for that work that you're going to have to put in. Position yourself for success. Building systems. So I'm going to tell you a quick story about me as the moment that my business started to grow, and it kind of sneaks up on you because you're so used to doing everything, and you really don't start to account for a lot of the time and effort you're putting into different avenues. So I started getting multiple leads a day, and it quickly became like overwhelming. So the first thing I did was I hired a virtual assistant, which is naturally like, I need some help. Virtual assistants overseas, they're cheaper. There's not a lot of overhead, and they can help with emailing and sending out, and just helping you with your workflow in the back end, and alleviate the load you have. But my problem is I went and hired virtual assistants, and then I realized by hiring virtual assistants actually gave me more work because, one, I had to train them, and I don't know how to train people. I had to give them some kind of systems or blueprints and templates so that they can operate off of. I didn't have any of those things in place. So me thinking, because when you hire people, they tell you they can do all this stuff, they can do this, they're experts at this. When you hire them, even if they do know those things, you still got to teach them. You still got to teach them your company. You still got to teach them your flow. You still got to teach them pricing or whatever it is, how you deal with clients. You still have to go through that training process. And when you're already with swamped beforehand and you're trying to hire somebody to help you with that, and it becomes more work, it will, even stress you out even more, and you're also paying them. So you have to have some kind of SOPs in place. So some standard operating procedures, like how, if a lead come in, how to respond to that. Maybe have some templates built out for them already. When it comes to pricing, whatever that process is, the more you're prepared with like standard operating procedures, the more you're prepared for when your company starts to grow and you have to bring people on to hire to help you with this thing. Another great tool that you can have before you even get an assistant, or if you do get an assistant, you have to have some kind of client management system. We use HoneyBook, and this manages all of our clients. They put them all in one place, and it takes care of all the invoicing, contracts. It keeps all the emails in one spot, and all your assistants and can all have access to the same email, so they can email on your behalf or as themselves. And it really just keeps everything in perspective. And I also use it to track how my leads and performances are going, because you can see how many estimates you send out versus how many book, the percentages, how many leads come from where, Google, your marketing strategy, whatever you're doing, you can like label all those, and you really can start to keep track of how your leads are coming in, how you're spending money, which ones cost more, cost less, the conversion rate. It's a very powerful tool. If you don't already have a client management system and you're looking for one, HoneyBook is a great way to go. And I do have an affiliate link at the bottom of my description. You can use that link if you like. If not, it's fine. But this is just kind of like an opener for the episodes that are to come. I'm going to be doing these live shows like I'm doing now. This is my very first one, so bear with me. I might be moving too fast. And I hope you get some value from this. But one of the biggest things that we're going to start to talk about is how I started to grow my company to a 6-figure business, how I was spending $2,000 a month to bring back $10,000 a month. I'm going to talk so much stuff, man. I learned so much dealing with clients, how to send out estimates, proposals, how to send a proper estimates that makes you look professional and separates you from other people who also may send out estimates, and the way we break them down. And it's kind of like a little science behind it. Different gear, we use all kinds of stuff. So like we do everything. Like I said, we live stream, virtual tours, VR content, video production, marketing videos, social media content, photography. We outsource, how to outsource, even outsourcing third-party contracts. We're going to go over that as well too, because even if let's say you're a photographer, but you don't do video, you don't do AV, you don't do lighting, you can outsource these jobs and make money and actually still take on bigger jobs. Because hey, the key to get bigger jobs is to show up on jobs, not by yourself. So I'm going to leave on that note. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because it helps the channel out, and it'll help you stay up to date on our updated episodes that we will be bringing forth. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.